welcome back to our channel, Doom Productions, home of the No Budget Film School. And I have been embarrassingly behind on keeping up to date with movies that are coming out, especially movies that are being released for free on YouTube. And that's kind of a problem I have. It's kind of a first world problem I have these days, is there's just so much good stuff coming out, and when you're in the middle of making a movie, it's really difficult to try to keep up to date with all the good stuff that's being released. This last weekend I had some free time and I figured, what the heck, I'm gonna force myself to sit down and watch through a bunch of movies. Not Hollywood movies, but movies that are being released for free right here on YouTube. Movies made by independent artists, movies that I think you all should support. Essentially, I wanted to binge watch movies that have been on my watch list for a long time, and finally check those off my list. I didn't watch as many movies as I would have liked to this weekend, but I thought I'd just share with you all the 5 movies that I got a chance to watch this weekend and my thoughts on them. So the first movie I watched was this movie called Spiral, directed by Spider Dabrowski, I think that's how you pronounce it. This movie is really well shot. I love the cinematography in this movie. The atmosphere was really moody, the lighting was really great, the performances were really good as well. It's a movie that really reminded me of something like The Big Lebowski or Under the Silver Lake, or like a Richard Linklater movie. And I don't quite know how to describe it other than it felt like a movie that would have been made in the 90s, if that makes sense. It kind of felt like something I'd like rent from a video store or get an old VHS or DVD copy of in, you know, like early 2000s, late 90s or something like that. It's a movie I think you'd really like if you're into crime and kind of more experimental type movies, and it's definitely worth checking out. Spider, you did an awesome job directing this movie. The next movie I watched was a movie called Assassin, directed by Ethan Stevens. This movie has been on my watch list for a long time, and I'm so glad I finally saw it. I'm actually angry with myself that I didn't watch it sooner, because this movie was so much fun. Everything about this movie was fun. The performances, the comedy, the action, the story, the jokes, all of it was so much fun. I was just smiling the entire time. I was having a real blast watching this movie. I felt like I was there. If you didn't know, Assassin is a movie about this annual Nerf gun competition that goes on in this high school. The premise sounds a little silly, and the movie definitely has some silly, funny moments, but I was really impressed with how serious it got and how well it treated the characters and the story. As I said, the whole thing is just really fun. It's got a great score, it's got great performances, the cinematography is really bright and poppy, and I love the colors in it, and it's honestly the best high school movie I've seen in a really long time. I mean, he's given John Hughes a run for his money. So, Ethan Stevens, great job on the movie. I can't wait to see your next movie, The Not Now, which is coming out this Friday, so make sure to check that out. And yeah, just awesome job on the movie. The next movie I watched was a movie called Fakir, directed by Rizwan Rahman. This one had a really strong opening. I loved the opening sequence of this movie with how it was all edited together. It really stuck with me for the rest of the movie. It's honestly might be my favorite part of the whole thing, just that opening sequence, because it just hooks you right away. The editing overall I think is pretty strong in the movie. I believe the movie's set in Hong Kong, and this is one of my favorite things about movies that are being released for free on the internet, on YouTube, because you get to travel to different parts of the world, and it's not in the typical Hollywood traveling, you know, where you get the same kind of drone shots over a city or moving car stuff. You get to be there on the street with real people, with relatively unknown actors, or just people who are acting who aren't actually actors. I felt like I was in the city during this movie. I believe there's a couple different versions of the movie. The version that I saw was the noir black and white version. I believe the difference between that and the colored version is the colored version didn't have complete sound mixing, and in the black and white version it had more polished sound, and there were some little changes here and there. But regardless, great job on the movie, Rizwan. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what you do next. The fourth movie I saw this weekend was a movie called Girls' Night, directed by Christian Zacharchuk. This one is awesome. I loved it. It's shot in the style of an old TV show, so it's got a very cool VHS aesthetic, which, if you know anything about our movies, we love VHS. Everything about this movie was just super duper creative. I loved the premise, I loved the setup, I loved how it progressed, and I loved where the movie ended up. I also loved how there was a level of campiness to the whole movie, but at the same time, when things got serious and creepy, they got really serious and really creepy, and I just loved that about the movie. It reminded me of that old short, that music video thing called Too Many Cooks in the Kitchen. or also the 70s Japanese movie House. So if you love those movies, which are kind of campy horror, playing with the medium of film and the genre of horror, I definitely recommend checking out Girls Night. I really, really enjoyed it. Great job, Christian, on directing an awesome movie. And the last movie I saw was a movie called Black Dog, directed by Nicholas Adamson, who, if you don't know, runs the Don't Tell Show, who's a good friend of this movement of folk filmmaking, truly independent filmmaking, no budget filmmaking, whatever you want to call it. I didn't know what to expect going into this one because I know Nick mostly as a film critic and film reviewer, so I had no idea he had such great filmmaking chops as well. The whole content of this short was really, really interesting, and the way things unfolded was really, really great. It's got this really great, indescribable tone that I don't know how to describe, and that's kind of what makes it so great. It's a really interesting documentary or mockumentary in a way, and as I said before, it's really hard to describe, and I think that's kind of the magic of the movie. It's just this great thing that just makes you feel uneasy, and it's this great study in tone and what you can do with tone, because it's just someone talking to the camera for the whole time pretty much, but it's so unnerving, it's so thrilling, so engaging. Check out Black Dog. It was such a great movie. So that's all the movies I was able to watch this weekend. I wish I could have watched more. I'll probably do another video like this where I just binge watch a whole bunch of movies and talk about them afterwards. Awesome job to everyone who worked on these movies. If you were just watching this and you haven't heard of any of these movies, please go check them out. They're all worth the watch. And it just kind of goes to show you what kind of talent is out there that exists outside of Hollywood and the kind of stuff you can find just on the internet for free. I know it can kind of feel overwhelming, like you don't know what to watch, like there's too much content out there with streaming services and all the movies and TV shows that are coming out. But I'm telling you, these no-budget artists and low-budget filmmakers, they're putting out some great work that's entirely for free, and it costs you nothing to support them. So check out these movies. They're really, really good. I give them my stamp of approval. And yeah, I just had a really, really good time just binge watching all these movies. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have made a feature film or a film in general, and you want us to watch it, please send me a link down below in the comments. I'd love to check it out. I'll put it on my watch list. I'll make sure I try to get around to it when I make the next video, or maybe the one afterwards. Maybe this will be a series. I'm not quite sure yet. Thank you again, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.